Hello and welcome to Act 4, Scene 1 of Julius Caesar. So, before we go into the detailed line by line explanation, let's see what happens in this scene. So, in this scene, Antony, Octavius, and Lepidus are discussing their plans for their alliance. They also discuss how to kill some people who could be a threat to them in the future. And once Lepidus leaves to collect Julius Caesar's will, Antony and Octavius decide that he is only meant to be sent on errands and then they should get rid of him later. They also talk about raising an army as Brutus and Cassius are gaining power. So now let's see what happens in this scene. So in this scene, Antony, Octavius, and Lepidus enter. So Antony says, "These many then shall die, their names are pricked." So these many, he's showing them the list of people who should be assassinated and their names are marked. That is when Octavius says, "Your brother too must die. Do you consent, Lepidus? Do you agree that your brother also should die?" So Lepidus says, "Yes, I do consent. I agree." So Octavius says, "Okay, prick him down, Antony." So mark his name down, Antony. So Lepidus says, "Yes, I shall allow my brother to die under one condition, that Publius shall also not live. Who is your sister's son, Mark Antony?" So Antony says, "Yes, Publius also shall not live. Look, I have marked him." But Lepidus, "Go to Caesar's home, fetch the will hither." So bring the will here, and we shall determine how to cut off some charge in legacies. So now we should see how to reduce some of the payments that we have promised to the commoners. So Lepidus says, "When I return, shall I find you here?" So Octavius says, "Either we'll be here or we'll be at the capital." And Lepidus exits. So Antony says, "This is a slight, unmeritable man, meant to be sent on errands. Is it fit, the threefold world divide, that he should stand one of these three to share it?" So Antony says, "Lepidus, he's an insignificant man. He's only meant to be sent on errands and on work here and there. So do you think he's fit enough to receive one part of the three divisions of the Roman Empire? Should he be one of the rulers of the world?" So Octavius says, "Oh, so this is what you thought of him when you took his opinion of who should be chosen to die in our death sentence and proscription." So Antony says, "Octavius, I have seen more days than you." So he says, "I'm more experienced than you." And Antony says, "We lay these honors on these men to ease ourselves of diverse slanderous loads." So he's saying we're giving him this honor just because we want to reduce some of the burdensome accusations that are going to be put on us. "He shall but bear them as an ass bears gold." So he's saying he's just a donkey who is carrying gold from here to there, to groan and sweat under the business. So he is going to cry and sweat and do all the difficult work. Either he is going to be led or he is just going to be forced and driven as we point the way, and he shall go that way. And having brought our treasure where we will, and when our work is done, and when we have finally found the treasure, then take we down his load and turn him off, and then we are going to unburden him and shoo him off just like an empty donkey and allow him to graze in the public place. So this part is also important. It has appeared in the exam once or twice. Okay. So this is what Antony thinks about Lepidus. So Octavius says, "You may do your will, but he's a tried and valiant soldier. So you can do whatever you want, but I believe that he's an experienced and honorable soldier." So Mark Antony says, "So is my horse Octavius. He is also valiant and brave, and for that I do appoint him store of provider." So Antony is saying, "My horse, I also store my horse and I provide food for him. The horse is a creature that I teach to fight, to change direction, to stop, to run directly ahead, and also his physical movements are governed by my spirit, means controlled by my spirit. And in some way, leopard is also just like that. He must be taught and trained and ordered to go around. He further adds that Lepidus is a dull-minded fellow, a barren-spirited fellow, the one that feeds on leftovers, artificialities, and fashion, which is out of fashion and stale to other men. And when things go out of fashion, it becomes fashion for him. So do not talk of him as a person, but just talk of him as an object or a possession. And now, Octavius, listen to great things. Brutus and Cassius are increasing their powers. We must straight make head, means we must act quickly and make an army of ourselves. Therefore, let our alliance be combined. So let both of us get together and our best friends meet, and let's become best friends so that our resources are doubled or increased. And let us presently go sit in council. And so let us go and talk about how secret matters may be best revealed, and let the open dangers may be answered or addressed. That is when Octavius says, yes, let us go and do so. Let's go and discuss, because we are in a dangerous situation. We are at stake and bayed about with many enemies. So we are surrounded by many enemies. And there are some who smile, have in their hearts, so who smile at us, but I fear they have bad intentions in their heart and they exit. So this is the end of Act 4, Scene 1. So Julius Caesar, it is not as difficult as people perceive it to be. It is a piece of cake as long as you understand what is mentioned. So study well, share with your friends about this page, and I'll meet you for the next video, which is Act 4, Scene 2. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.